Hey everyone, what's up? My name is Ryan, aka Ali the Llama. Today, I want to discuss one of the most successful and controversial video games of all time, Destiny. It's hard to think of a time when a game has been simultaneously praised and criticized, loved and hated by fans and critics alike. I want to discuss my experience with the game, from its launch 1 year ago to its new expansion, The Taken King. And hopefully you guys can learn something too. I've had a checkered past with Destiny, to say the least. I waited in line to get the game at midnight, and couldn't be more excited to explore the game and its vast, lore-filled universe. And, of course, I was excited to shoot things, because that's what Bungie has proved they can do with expertise. As it turned out, I only got one of those two things when the game released. Sadly, the story just wasn't there. After the first few story missions, I had no idea what was going on. The dialogue was bland, and there was so much jargon being used that I just lost track of everything. Something about the darkness and Rasputin and whatever. In addition, loot drops were few and far between, and when brought to the Cryptarch, the person who was supposed to turn your loot into cool guns or armor, he would laugh in your face and give you a rare helmet, instead of that legendary gear you deserved. The leveling up system was also convoluted, forcing you to grind doing the same activities for hours, days, even weeks, to get that one piece of gear you wanted. And despite of all that, I played it every single day for months, feeling obligated to complete all of my daily bounties and weekly strikes. So why did I play? Because at its core, Destiny is fun. The trifecta of guns, grenades, and melee is executed perfectly, and was the only reason that made the months of grinding bearable. And during these months, I would defend the game, telling anybody who criticized the story or mechanics that didn't matter because the game was just plain fun. Do the daily mission, complete my bounties, weekly strike, raid, repeat. I wasn't really working towards anything, just playing to play. I'd given so much to the game, and it seemed to be designed to waste my time. And so I swore off Destiny, and then I thought I was finally finished with it. And now here we are, a year later, with the release of The Taken King in Destiny 2.0, and now I'm hooked all over again. And this time, I'm happy about it. There are a lot of fundamental changes in Destiny 2.0 that make a real difference. Changes that respect your time as a player a lot more. For example, you can now turn in, and track, missions from anywhere, which no longer forces you to travel to the tower after every mission. The story missions actually feel like a cohesive story, and I understood what was happening the entire way through. The voice acting was well done, and the banter between the characters was actually funny, adding a lot of development to characters we've walked past and turned missions into a million times before.
What the hell was that?
Fingertips on the surface of my mind.
Yes. Thank you for your input, Eris.
There's even individualized missions depending on what subclass you choose. And where previously missions would hold your hand, Destiny 2.0 allows for more independent exploration and discovery.
Cabal mining sites across Mars and Phobos have been hit.
But there are two major changes that I believe has had the biggest positive effect on the game so far, and it had to do with loot and leveling up. For leveling up, prior to Destiny 2.0, your light level and your actual level were kind of one and the same. Depending on how much light you had, an attribute granted by high-level armor pieces, your level would adjust accordingly. This meant that if you're level 30 and found a new chest piece you wanted to wear and upgrade, your level would drop significantly while you're upgrading it, not allowing you to play a lot of the endgame content. To make it even worse, it could take weeks to gain even one level. But now things are different. Your actual level and light level are separate. You can get to the current max level 40 through experience alone, which grants you access to most of the game's activities. Your Guardian's light level is a weighted average between all of the stats of everything you have equipped, from guns to armor to your ghost. Whenever you get a more powerful piece of gear, your light level will raise slightly. This steady and almost constant progress is much more rewarding than having to wait weeks to make any kind of progress. But this would still take forever if Destiny 2.0's loot system was the same as before. This time around, the loot you get from engrams take your current light level into account. This means that if your light level is 200, there's a good chance that your loot will be somewhere from 200 to 215. And once you equip that gear, and your light level increases, the next loot you get will match your higher light level, and so on. They also significantly increased the loot drop rate during all parts of the game, and made bosses have a guaranteed loot explosion.
All
of this combined means that pretty much any blue or higher rarity engram you see has the potential to level you up, and you get at least a handful in each mission you play. It's a fun experience to be excited by every engram I see. But even though there have been a lot of positive changes, Destiny still is very much a farming and grinding game. In fact, I'd say it's pretty much still a checklist game. Complete your bounties, missions, strikes, etc. And that may seem to contradict what I said earlier about hating that kind of stuff. But now it's different. Destiny respects your time so much more, and I don't feel guilty playing for an hour or so every day. And if you play the game with the intent not to complete every bounty, or to farm and farm for all the best gear, but with the intent to just have some fun, there hasn't been a better time to jump in. And that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, my name is Ryan, aka Lethal Llama, and I'll see you next time.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows, only time? And who can say